I have a mobile order for McLovin.
Okay, we have it up here for you.
Thanks. When you put a fun name on your Starbucks mobile order, it just makes it more fun in the mornings. Americano. It's the only way to go. So what I'm doing today, you guys, is I'm headed out to the wind towers. One of my favorite places to shoot. If you've been a part of this channel for any amount of time, you know that I like to video the wind towers south of our community. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to get a long exposure photo with your Mavic 2 Pro. Now, I've done it with the Mavic Air already, and it didn't quite turn out as good as I wanted it to. And now that I have the Mavic 2 Pro, I think that I can get some better images with it. So we're going to head out there right now and see what we can get. Okay, major fail on my part, but I'll get to that in just a second. Hey everybody, thanks for joining the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Russ and this is 51 Drones. If you like what you see today or you get anything of value, please consider clicking on that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Okay, so here's what happened. What I tried to do today is I tried an experiment. I tried to be minimalist. You know, I posted a poll a couple of videos ago asking you guys if I should get rid of my Sony a7 III and that whole package and just kind of downsize and go minimalist. You know, just do, you know, the GoPro Hero 7 Black, which I have right here, and maybe a little bit of a microphone with it, and just make my content with that stuff, because I'm trying to challenge myself to be a better creator by not relying on the expensive equipment. Just try to make great content and not worry about what the other guy is doing, not worry about, you know, trying to spend thousands of dollars to get the greatest equipment to bring you guys an awesome channel, because that's not what it's about. It's about providing value and content. So that's what I wanted to do today. I got the GoPro Hero 7 and that's all I took with me today. I took my GoPro Hero 7 along with my GorillaPod and then my little compact carry case here. So I have my Mavic 2 Pro along with the controller and this little FreeWell compact carry case, which they sent me, by the way, full disclosure, they sent this to me. Really cool if you're just trying to be a minimalist, which I was today. But I took that out in the field to do this video. And what happened was, the audio on here is better than it has been on GoPros, but it's just not there yet. Second thing is, it's pretty windy today, and so this might be a little bit challenging. Pretty much here it's always windy. I guess that's why they put a wind farm here, especially for inside a vehicle. I'll show you a little bit later here some of the sample audio, because I actually had a really interesting situation, a little interaction with someone that interrupted me as I was flying today. Probably one of the most interesting people I've ever met, but you'll see that in just a minute. So you'll see what the audio is like. I just can't edit audio that much. It was so bad and I couldn't edit it to bring you guys a good video today. So I'm going to voice over this whole thing today, and I apologize for that, because I do like to do my videos as I'm doing them, because it just means more to me and I think it means more to you guys too. So I apologize for that. But what I did today, like I said, I got some long exposure photos of the wind towers, one of my favorite places. And I've done it with the Mavic Air last summer, but they just didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to. And I figured with the Mavic 2 Pro, I would have a better opportunity to get some better images because of that adjustable aperture. And so I parked right next to one of the wind towers. I put the Mavic 2 Pro up and I played with some of the settings. Now, just a couple of things really briefly. If you haven't done long exposure photos before, it's a different animal, because it takes a lot of experimenting. To be honest, it's not about just choosing these 3 settings and this color white balance and clicking the shutter button and having a perfect photo. It does not work like that, especially if you're a beginner, and I still am a beginner when it comes to this. But I have gotten a little bit better since the first time that I have done this. And so there's 3 things that you need to consider. You need to consider the ISO, your shutter speed, and your aperture. And basically your shutter speed is how long the shutter is open, And so the longer it's open, the more motion is conveyed in your image. And with the aperture, the wider open it is, which means the smaller number. So on the Mavic 2 Pro, 2.8 is as wide open as that aperture goes. So the smaller the number, the wider the aperture, that lets in more light. And so you can adjust the amount of light that comes in to the sensor by adjusting that aperture. And then the third part of the triangle of exposure is the ISO. And basically what that is it tells the camera how sensitive should the sensor be to the light that's coming into it. So the lower the number, the better. That's all you need to know. Set it to 100 all the time, maybe 200, and in a very extreme pinch, 400 ISO. I would never go higher than that for the ISO. So when I am shooting a long exposure photo, I always choose 100 ISO. And when I'm trying to do a photo like I was today, a long exposure photo showing some motion, I'm trying to get that 1 second to 2 second time frame, because that kind of conveys enough motion, but it's short enough to where the wind isn't going to affect it. Now the Mavic 2 Pro works great in the wind. That gimbal is awesome, but you really should set your drone into tripod mode, because that even locks it down tighter. And so it was pretty windy today when I was trying to take these photos. And so, trying to get a 2 second photo probably was not going to work. And so I took a number of photos. I took some 1 second exposures. I took a ½ second exposure, which you'll see right here on screen. And I took a 1/3 second exposure, and they all kind of give you a little different effect. It was pretty difficult to get a great photo like this, like I wanted to today, because it was cloudy out. And of course the props on the wind tower are white. And so there's no contrast there. So you can't really see what it looks like. And so I went up a little bit, got up a little higher on the horizon. So we had some contrast with the ground. And that turned out a little bit better, but still not the way that I wanted it to. Now I did go out a couple of days ago and I tried this with the ND2000. FreeWell sent me the ND2000, which is a extremely dark ND filter, and 11 stops of exposure. So it really knocks down the light. So it allows me to extend that shutter speed. And so on really bright sunny days, like it was a few days ago, the ND2000 worked just great. Nice blue sky, I had some nice contrast. So here is an example of the photo that I got there, and you also saw it on the thumbnail. It really worked great. And again, it just took a lot of experiments. It took me about 20 photos to get that one photo. And so if you guys want to get some long exposure photos, even with all of the settings that I'm showing you on these photos, sometimes each situation is going to be a little bit different. And so what I would do is just take 10, 20, maybe 30 different pictures using different settings and find the one that works. As for the FreeWell filters, I don't know if I really need to say anything about them. Everything that I have tried from FreeWell is great. I only have a couple of complaints, and it's really not about the filter itself. It's about the containers that these filters come in. I can't get them open. I can't. I seriously can't. I don't know what to do to get these open. There we go. Got that one open. And so they're very difficult to open. The second thing is these filters do not stay in place. Usually they're popping out of place. And then the third thing is I wish they kind of labeled them somehow. I know you probably can't stick it to that foam. They're not going to stick very well, but if you could label the spots where the filters go, because as we get older, our vision gets poor, and those little numbers on the filters are kind of difficult to see. But as far as the quality of the filters, as far as the quality of the image, I think they're great. And so I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check them out, as well as the compact carry case. It does work for those of you that want to try to get minimalist. Now, one thing that I do need to show you guys today, as I was filming, somebody drove up to me. I was parked it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, really. And I was parked there, and someone drove up to me and it interrupted me. So I want to show you that conversation right now. And here is the result of that one. So as you can see, we're getting kind of a shutter effect there. And so I see someone's pulling up here and they're interrupting me. Excuse me. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
What's up?
You're not one of the dolls. Oh,
No.
you're flying a drone?
I'm flying a drone. Yeah, I'm getting some photos.
way.
Yeah.
Can you get me in the picture?
Sure, I could get you in the picture.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, to imagine what she looked like, imagine, I don't know if any of you have watched the Beverly Hillbillies, I'm sure you have, but imagine Granny, but with green hair. Okay, that's who I thought of instantly when I saw this woman. And not only was her hair colorful, but also her language was. Sure, of course.
Oh, shit, huh?
Yeah. Now what happened is I still had my long exposure filters on there, and I still had a 1 second exposure. So I didn't get any clear photos of her. I should have switched it to auto. But here's kind of a blurry photo so you can get kind of an idea of what she looked like. And then she proceeded to tell me that her property was just up the road. And so I asked her if it was okay if I parked there.
My property is just over the hill.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Is it okay if I park here?
Well, of course.
Okay, good. And then,
Hey, you want to come to my house?
well, not right now. I gotta,
It's just over the hill.
Well,
I mean,
someday I will.
live there.
It rubs the lotion on its skin.
And then the conversation started to get real interesting.
You know that I'm going to be president?
Is that right?
Is that going to be okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem with that.
You can take me as Annie Trump.
Annie Trump? Okay.
And
And then she asked me my name, and I wasn't even thinking, and I gave her my real name.
I'm obsessed with helicopters.
Oh yeah? Cool.
You know
Yep.
how to fly a helicopter?
I don't know how to fly a helicopter. So hopefully I don't hear from Annie Trump anymore. And as she started to leave, she cranked up Twisted Sister. Now I really wanted to play this, but I can't because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But she was jamming to Twisted Sister and dancing as she was driving away in her vehicle. So you never know who you're gonna meet when you're flying a drone. I was gonna get her on video, but I don't actually think she knew that I was recording, and I'm afraid of what she would have done if I would have shown her the video camera. So anyway, it was a very interesting day. I had a total fail with my audio on my GoPro Hero 7 Black. I met somebody very interesting, and I did manage to get a few average long exposure shots. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about the settings that I used or anything at all, and I'll certainly answer your question as soon as I can. If you do want to try to get some long exposure photos with your Mavic 2 Pro, I do recommend the FreeWell filters because they are a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones out there, but their quality is just as good as any of them. If you got anything of value or entertained by this video in any way, please click on that thumbs up button and let me know that you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I want to thank you guys sincerely for watching today, and as always, fly safe and fly smart.
I should have been a pilot. God damn me.
Yeah? It's never too late, right?
I don't know.
What do we get here?
Oh, that's a pretty fancy drone you have there. Oh, you're like Myron Dewey. You remember Myron Dewey
No.
and Dapple?
No.
Oh, you go Myron Dewey.
Okay.
I used to work Dapple in security.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was flying his drone out there, huh?